Hello, welcome back. This is a really short video just to give you a heads up that a part that I've shown before on the channel because we were uh, working on it or helping it design it and talking to smallrig, which is a company who is building it, is now in pre-order. And the nice thing about the pre-orders at smallrig that it will be 50% off. So in this case it's $15 or 13 euros if I remember correctly. And what it is if you already own one of the L brackets that they have been making in the last few months, which started off with basically a project that I worked on with them also, which was the L bracket 2122 for the Sony A7 III and the A7R III and the A9, by the way. That it would be nice if you would, instead of the L bracket part, have a handle there that you could use, both of course as a handle, but also that would protect and encapsulate some of your cables and your connectors. So after a few design steps and then co-design steps, which they do, it now went into pre-orders. And all the pre-orders are always 50% off, so that's the reason why I'm making this video as sort of a heads up. You can find them on the pre-order on their website, and just quickly show you a few things and how it can be used. It is compatible with about 5 or 6 different cameras, not only Sony, but you can use Fuji and Panasonic, and even the two L brackets that they already made for the smaller Sony, so the A6500 and the A6300. And of course, I will also test it on these when I get it in. And I might get a pre-production unit. I'm not sure yet. I'm hoping that they will send me one so they can show you before you have to order. But at this price, at $16, it's I think it's almost a no-brainer to try it. So let's quickly show the setup. So the reason why they work on multiple of these L brackets is that all of them are designed with this sliding part that comes out in the L bracket, and is designed to be able to attach to that. So you reuse that part and you can still slide it in and out. So you can see on this one, which is Panasonic GH5S, if I see the red line correctly, you can see that they now slid it out and they don't really do any attempt into hiding the cables, but even then you can see it's way more protected because you can't really easily hit it. But if you slide it back in, and depending on the connectors and the camera, you can almost close it up again. I will show one picture of that in a second. You can both protect and grab the camera much easier if you're doing video work. So they show the picture, you can already see kind of what we are talking about. And again, it depends a little bit how far you, let's say, slide it back in and how your camera sort of lines up, how it will work for you. You can see that here in this case they're also doing a monitor on top. I would personally use a smaller microphone here. I like, but that's me, the smaller version of this one, which is actually has better audio quality in my opinion, called the Rode Micro. That would be perfect for this. Or, and I use it also a lot, my wireless transmitter would be over here, and my LCD would just be over here. But you can already see that this is way more protected. So because inside, so this is an all metal part, it has extra holes on the top, so you can connect stuff. That has a cold shoe that he was using in the picture. In the front of it, there's another place for your tool that you need, so or you can use, which are for the screws on the side. It's again being held down by a magnetic sort of system. There's also a little hole here, to get the tool out, but also because we are pondering, and that's going to be a do-it-yourself sort of project, if we can actually put a shutter button here. Because one thing, of course, which is nice, that it might be the first option for left-handed photographers to actually have a grip on the correct side for them, where they can have a shutter button on top. And this is not very unlikely that this might work, depending, let's see where we end up, because at least on the Sony's, the USB port allows for an external shutter button. This is a well-known system. It's not that weird. Also the RIP from Mikey, for example, uses that. So it's a very nice possibility to try to put a shutter here and see if that works. Now, as you see, there's a really big hole inside. Of course, that means that the weight also will go down. But the first reason why it's there, so that if you slide it back in, so let's look at this picture. If you slide it back in, then with a little bit of luck, depending again on the camera and your cables that you're using, you can hide all of the cables and, more important, your connectors inside. And what I don't like about the generic cable clamp is that it still leaves the side of your camera quite open to bumping and you hitting it and destroying one of your connectors. And especially if it's HDMI micro, it's quite quite easy to destroy. So you can see kind of how this would work. In this case, I'm not sure what plate this is. It flips out. I'm guessing that this is for the Fuji, but also the Sony one will line up in the same way. So let's quickly see if we have other stuff that I want to point out. There's also a thumb sort of rest again. So one thing that I plan to use it on is, of course, you can do two-handed now, which is kind of nice because you can sort of shift your weight when you're filming. It also means that you can sometimes move from your left hand to your right hand, right? Give it a little bit of a rest. Or if you're using it on a monopod, it makes it much easier to balance and do your rotations, right? So there's different sort of things that you can use it for. So here you see that it's formed like a grip, so they make kind of a compromise between the different brands. So I'm not sure how it will feel. I will most likely also see if I will put this gun grip material on this again. We will see what I end up with doing. But you can see it's formed really like a handle, and that's also quite nice. Let's see, here you see the shifting in and shifting out we were talking about, so you can put it on any position that you like. My goal, of course, is to close it up as far as possible, but that's just me. So just to showcase that part, this is a picture of the unit. Sorry, it's a little bit low res. I'm not sure why I saved it this way. But you can see in this case it's on the Sony A7R3, if I guess correctly. Yes, A7R3. You can see that the 2122 that we helped design before is being used, and you can see that the grip is almost up to the camera. In this case, the only cable going in is the audio cable, but it could also, of course, have the video cable inside, and you will still be able to close it up quite far. I'm not sure how far it will work totally, because it depends a little bit on your HDMI connector. And that's something I'm going to look into, and maybe even order a special HDMI connector to make it close up even more. So this is kind of the end of this small video. I just want to give you a heads up that you can now order it, and let's see if this becomes sort of a new thing. I think it's a very nice idea, because even if you don't totally shift it in, you can already quite easily see if you put it down or you're doing run and gun, how much easier this would be not to hit your cables, especially if you organize them a little bit from the bottom, the side. If you put it down, it's just a way better way, in my opinion, to protect your cables than a cable clamp. But let's see how this evolves. For now, if you're willing to support, not me because I don't make any money of it, but if you think these are cool ideas and you're willing to take a gamble for 16 bucks, you can order this now. Later, of course, it will be double because it's 50% off. It will be 30 bucks or 25 euros, I think was the price. So yeah, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.